quickly take a look at the latest exit poll, a post-poll survey that was conducted by CNX. And even that, viewers, it's giving a clean sweep there when it comes down to the Bharatiya Janata Party. These numbers coming in by CNX, giving the Aam Aadmi Party just 10 to 19 seats and BJP 49 to 61 seats, practically turning the tables on what was the result in 2020 and what the result now is in 2025, diametrically opposite. The Congress 0 to 1. This is the latest data that is coming in from CNX. The pollsters there projecting 10 to 19 seats for the Aam Aadmi Party, projecting 49 to 61 seats for the Bharatiya Janata Party and 0 to 1 seats for the Congress. Let's now, once again, viewers, take a look at the poll of polls. So we've curated data that's been filtering in ever since curtains came down on the Delhi voting, and this is what it looks like. You have most agencies, most pollsters, not just giving an edge to the BJP, but a sweep to the Bharatiya Janata Party when it comes down to the national capital. Matriz, one of the agencies that is looking at possibly a hung house in Delhi, but if you look at the others, nearly all giving a clean sweep to the Bharatiya Janata Party. Leave alone just the Mindbrink agency and We Preside agency as an outlier amongst all of this. A clean sweep projected by most pollsters and analysts when it comes down to the Bharatiya Janata Party, where Delhi is in question. Let's cut across right now to our panelists this evening. Joining me, Charu Pragya, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party; Anjali Rai, Spokesperson, Aam Aadmi Party; Siddharth Mishra, Senior Journalist; Aarti Jairath, Senior Journalist, Political Commentator; Amitabh Tiwari, Political Strategist and Commentator. Amitabh, what we are witnessing right now, and if these numbers hold true, we always say these are exit polls. We've seen what has happened in the recent past. Take them not just with a pinch, fistful of salt. But having said that, Amitabh Tiwari, they're all projecting a similar trend, a similar direction, which means the complete demise of the Aam Aadmi Party, or a near demise of the Aam Aadmi Party politically where Delhi is concerned.
So if you see from 1993, Delhi has been known for this kind of result. The either party wins the elections with a huge mandate, starting from BJP in 1993, then shifting to the Congress party, and then to the Aam Aadmi Party, except for 2013, which was a hung assembly. So Delhi voters have this mizaj, you can think, where they throw out the incumbent government by big magnitude. Now, if these numbers hold true, what does it mean? So there are three pillars of Aam Aadmi Party's core vote bank. One is a Mahila, the other is minorities, and the third is poor and the lower socioeconomic class. So this mandate cannot be achieved by the BJP without making dent in two of these three vote blocks. For the minorities, it is largely dependent upon the Congress party, which the pollsters are saying may not again be able to open the account or might slightly open the account with one seat, which means even amongst the core vote block of Mahila and the poor and the lower socioeconomic class, BJP seems to have made some entries or decent entries. And if we recall our discussions earlier, and if these numbers hold true, because we don't know as yet, we've discussed that, and I have been saying that this Mahila Samman Yojana, since none of the installments have been credited to the accounts of the women folk, this does not give certain advantage to the Aam Aadmi Party, just like it did for the Mahayuti or the India bloc in Jharkhand or even the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. And amongst the poor and the lower socioeconomic class, it seems that with the crowning of the MCD by the Aam Aadmi Party, the civic issues, and the C voter tracker is a perfect example of that, where it shows that more than 20% of the voters feel that civic issues, which is largely the responsibility of the MCD, is one of the key issues in this election. And somehow the anti-incumbency or the non-performance of the MCD seems to be reflecting in this results. And lastly, the tenor of the Aam Aadmi Party in Kejriwal 2.0 full term has been significantly weaker compared to the performance in Kejriwal 1.0. And I don't recall any other scheme apart from the free bus travel for women. So I think these factors are largely contributing to this sort of a mandate.
All right, and if this does turn around, then Anjali Rai, there is something that everyone, including your own political outfit, has been saying repeatedly. This is a referendum election for or against Arvind Kejriwal. And if these are the numbers that hold come the 8th of February, then the referendum is very clear, Anjali Rai.
I don't think that this result is going to come because all the pollster agencies, most of them I have never heard about, so I doubt their credibility.
Even the big ones, ma'am.
Yes,
we'll give out the numbers of Chanakya right now. Even the big ones, well-established ones, are giving a clean sweep when it comes down to the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Yes, but last time during Haryana elections and Maharashtra elections, we saw how they fell on their faces. So we don't believe whatever they are saying because, our voters are very silent, especially largely women are our voters who are very discreet and they don't share with their husbands also even that whom are they going to vote for. And secondly, the people are very scared saying against BJP. They say that they are voting for BJP, but they definitely, especially women, are going to vote for Aam Aadmi Party. Because just understand that women save a lot of money because of Kejriwalji's revadiyan, which they used to say, and now they...
So you're saying you don't believe any of the numbers that are pouring in? Not a single exit poll that you believe? Okay, we're going to cut across to Charu Pragya. I believe there's a problem with her network, but Siddharth Mishra, for somebody who's followed Delhi very closely, one thing is clear. जब दिल्ली देती है, छप्पड़ फाड़ के देती है, पर लेती है, even a one onion can make a government fall. Do you see that happening in Delhi, or do you think, these numbers are not really matching up on what's the mood on ground?
Two things, as your earlier panelist said, that about 1993 election, let me put it across to you that 1993 election was a triangular fight. There was Janata Dal United in the fight, which got about 7 to 8 seats in that election. And this was in the aftermath of Babri Masjid. So there was anger against the government, against the Congress government at the center, and the minority vote had consolidated with the Janata Dal United. Incidentally, one of the MLAs of Janata Dal of that time, Mr. Ranveer Singh Bidhodi, is today a BJP MP from South Delhi. Leaving that aside, coming to the figures which have come out today, I have always insisted on this, that Aam Aadmi Party has a loyal share of voters who have always voted for it in the Vidhan Sabha polls. BJP also has a loyal share of voters and it gets add-on votes during the Lok Sabha elections, about 15 to 20%, and which fluctuates back to the Aam Aadmi Party during the Vidhan Sabha election. So they both have a constant share of vote. If this time this kind of result is coming, so there are two factors at play. One, either Congress has and All India Muslimin, that OIC's party, has made some dent into the minority vote bank and the Dalit vote bank and such vote banks. Number one, which I think would be very, very meager, not much. What will really, if this is happening, what is hitting Aam Aadmi Party real hard and I'm looking forward to those 34 seats out of 70 seats, 34 seats which are dominated by the Vaishya and Punjabi community, which you can, also loosely call as the middle class of Delhi. If out of those 30, and last time out of those 34 seats, BJP managed to win just 2. And out of the 8 seats that BJP won, just 2 seats were from these 34 seats. So if BJP this time manages to win 25 plus seats from these 34 seats, then definitely this figures match. Because the polling percentage which has come out today does not seem to be favoring either this party or that party. What is going to really decide on the fate if this kind of figure is coming? That means a chunk of Aam Aadmi Party vote, and which is not, I think, the lower class vote, low income group vote, or the women vote, or the minority vote, which is shifting. What is shifting is the middle class vote, and which is after that 12 lakh rebate, income tax rebate, which has come.
Okay.
And that if that vote is shifting, then definitely Aam Aadmi Party loses the election.
But Siddharth Mishra, I'll just come back to you. Aarti Jairath, just give me a minute. I was going to cut across to Aarti Jairath, but I want to bring in Amitabh back into this conversation. Amitabh Tiwari, would you agree with Siddharth Mishra? Is it this kind of a jump, this kind of a sweep by the BJP could only be warranted by just the shift of the middle class. They would have had to chip away a part of the low-income groups as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this kind of a mandate, which is on an average 45 seats perhaps to the BJP on an average, cannot happen just because or cannot be accounted for just by this movement of the middle class voters. It means that the BJP has also been able to hit at the core of the Aam Aadmi Party, which is the J&J clusters and the unauthorized colonies where people live who were earlier or who still may be beneficiaries of the state government schemes, but perhaps because of a lot of people who were earlier beneficiaries of free Bijli and Pani today are no longer beneficiaries of free Bijli and Pani, even in J&J clusters and slums and colonies. And perhaps that discontent might have allowed or might have forced them to move towards the BJP, because the BJP also was promising a lot of tools as well as promising that the existing schemes would be continued.
Siddharth Mishra, you wanted to come for a rebuttal?
Yeah, I
quickly,
just
sir.
wanted to say one thing, that we cannot club the Jhuggi Jhopdi clusters with unauthorized colonies. Unauthorized colony, whatever the name for the reasons, it is called unauthorized colonies, but they are very, very prosperous colonies. Unauthorized colonies in Mehrauli constituency today, a flat there cost about 4 to 5 crores of rupees, and all in black
Senate
money.
Farms in Delhi is an unauthorized colony.
There is an unauthorized colony there.
Really,
And there are several,
can,
and most of the unauthorized colonies in Buradi and elsewhere, where there is a lot of builder intervention and all. So unauthorized colonies and Jhuggi Jhopdi clusters do not go hand in hand. They go separately. So they cannot be clubbed together as one economic group. They are two different.
Aarti Jairat, all right, I'll just come back to you. I want to introduce Aarti Jairat into this conversation. Aarti Jairat, till yesterday you said, I don't believe any of this. I want to see D-Day, 8th of February, and I'll believe the numbers when I see them on the board. There now is a sense, because even now the bigger pollsters, the more respected pollsters, agencies who've been polling for decades now, seem to be suggesting a very similar trend, or rather they're going one step forward and suggesting or projecting a sweep by the BJP.
Yes, I will still, hold back till the results are actually in. But yes, today we have some, exit polls that have come in from more established pollsters. The ones that we saw yesterday, I really have never heard of them, so I can't comment on them. But today we do have some from established pollsters, and yes, you're right. They're showing a pretty handsome victory for the BJP. And, to repeat what all the other panelists have said, this can only happen if they have taken away a chunk of Aam Aadmi Party's voters. Last time there was a difference of about 14 to 15% in the vote share between the BJP and Aam Aadmi Party. Yes. So, the BJP would have had to get at least 8%, an 8% swing towards it. This can't happen because the Congress has taken away votes. This has happened because the BJP has taken away Aam Aadmi Party votes. And the BJP, it is remarkable because this means that the poorer classes have voted for the BJP, which is a constituency which has not voted for the BJP for the last 27 years, which is why the BJP has not been able to, rule in Delhi for all these decades. So, this is a huge breakthrough if these numbers do actually come true on Saturday. It's a huge breakthrough by the BJP that they've been able to attract the votes of the poor or maybe the SC. I mean, I think we'll have to wait for a proper breakup to see, which classes have gone. But clearly, if not the very poor, some poor classes have gone to the BJP. And I will attribute this to the fact that in the last few months, a lot of the Aam Aadmi Party's social welfare schemes actually dried up. I don't know what happened, why they were no longer, being able to dispense the kind of, money welfare schemes that they were doing earlier. Maybe, the government got paralyzed because, everybody was in jail, all their top leaders or whatever. But the fact is that the social welfare schemes that had been the backbone of the Aam Aadmi Party's success in 2020, those social welfare schemes seem to have spluttered and come to a halt in many places. And while the central government was offering welfare schemes, Aam Aadmi Party refused to accept those schemes in Delhi, saying that no, we have our own schemes, so we will not dispense the central government social welfare schemes. So whether it is health insurance or food rations and so on, I mean, there was a big problem in the poor accessing those welfare measures.
All right, I want to cut across to Charu Pragya, and before I do that, Charu Pragya, I'll give you something to smile about, and clearly you have a lot to smile about if you're looking at exit polls. Let's put out the data by Chanakya. The pollsters at Chanakya they've predicted a sweep for the Bharatiya Janata Party. 51 seats to the Bharatiya Janata Party, 19 to the Aam Aadmi Party. The Congress will not open its account but has done sizable damage or some damage to the Aam Aadmi Party there. But the numbers on the board, Charu Pragya, will delight the BJP today.
On your show. I believe that BJP has been very confident about these numbers before the exit polls hit. And the reason is that tremendous work at the central level, where their achievements of the central government to that of Delhi state, we find Delhi state to be sadly lacking. They have not been able to deliver on the big promises they have been making every time before elections. They have managed to a point where 80% of the data are tainted with corruption. Well, then get to a point where a rich state like Delhi is in a deficit today. Their entire story of having a good health model has come crashing down because imagine now we have a story where Raghav Chadha go to London to get his eyes. So what is they talk about education model, but Manish Sisodia, the former education minister,
There's a problem with your audio, Charu. We're going to try and correct that audio. There's a problem with that audio. I want to go back now to Amitabh Tiwari. And, Amitabh Tiwari, one thing now is very clear. The directionally, if you look at it, each and every pollster, save, an outlier of one or two, has got the direction completely exactly the same.
Yeah, so we do treat the pollsters badly because of the 2024 results. But even if you see in 2024 Lok Sabha, the direction of the pollsters was not wrong. I mean, NDA was ahead and it went on to form the government. So exit polls or opinion polls tend to predict the direction. They are not tools to exactly calculate the vote shares or the seat shares, which they might get right or wrong at different points of time. See, what is happening here is that conceptually or structurally, the Aam Aadmi Party has a very low vote base or a base vote of only 20 to 25%, whereas BJP has 35 to 40. Now, Aam Aadmi Party is dependent upon a borrowed vote. It borrows voters from BJP and Congress from Lok Sabha elections around 15% each, and then it was able to win historic mandates in 2015 and 20. But this is a borrowed vote. This was not a sticky vote of the Aam Aadmi Party per se. And this is what happens when your borrowed vote stays with the original party like the BJP or even some percentage of voters with the Congress, then you are in a fix because your base vote is fairly low and they were not able to grow that vote base despite being in power in 10 years, largely the middle class and the upper caste voters. They were not able to penetrate significantly higher there.
Anjali Rai, do you agree, concur with Amitabh? Because one thing is very clear, Anjali Rai. Even this time around, every time your leaders went to the people, they went to the people on the promises made in the first term, not in the second term.
See, first of all, I would like to answer Amitabh-ji. He said that we have borrowed voters. BJP and Congress are very old parties. That's why they have a stronger base than us. And they used to have a lot of voters. But we are a new party, and definitely we had to take out voters from the party. Our voters are those people who used to vote earlier for BJP or Congress, which were the main parties earlier. So there's nothing like borrowed voters. They have free will. They can vote to anybody, any party. Now, I don't agree with all these results because,
But Anjali, right, the BJP has a core vote bank. Even if you go all the way back, they've always had at least a 32% vote bank, and they've only grown since then.
See, we also have now a core bank voters because Kejriwalji introduced a very unique type of governance. Now that is of welfare state. Okay. Now these people, all these parties who used to mock at us, saying that we distribute rabidis and all. You see, everybody, all right. These parties.
We'll only know, ma'am. All eyes, the entire focus is now, viewers, on Delhi. 8th February, we'll know exactly which way Delhi has voted. But if exit polls are any indications to go by, then it does seem at least the trend is pro-Bharatiya Janata Party. The Aam Aadmi Party is being swept out of the national capital as per exit polls. Once again, exit polls need to be taken with a fair measure of a fistful of salt, rather. But right now, what they seem to suggest is very clearly a BJP government coming to power where Delhi is concerned. Let's cut across to our panelists, Siddharth Mishra, senior journalist, Aarti Radhika Jairat, senior journalist. We'll also be joined by Rajdeep Sardesai, editor, India Today, in just a short while from now. Siddharth Mishra, if you're looking at the exit poll numbers right now, one thing I would reckon can be safely said, Siddharth Mishra, that the last 3 elections, the voting pattern of Delhi on a class-based voting pattern that we've seen is completely demolished. Once again, identity politics has come to the fore.
Not really. I would not agree on that. And because before I say that, the Aam Aadmi Party panelists had said that unknown pollsters. Let me tell you, today's Chanakya was the first survey group way back in 2013, which said that, the Aam Aadmi Party will get 25 plus seats in the elections, and it got 28 seats. So let's give them credit for predicting to be the first predictors of their emergence as political party and not discredit them.
But Siddharth Mishra, I think, as journalists, one thing we've seen that most political parties will pick and choose their survey. It doesn't matter whether the same outfit supported you the last time or projected a win for you or not.
I just wanted to remind them of the good prediction that they have made about their party. Having said that, coming to Chanakya's prediction, which I see on your screen, and I see about their vote share. They are saying that BJP is getting 49%, Aam Aadmi Party is getting 41%, and Congress is getting 10% votes. So again, I think with this kind of prediction, I want to again reiterate that it is the middle class which was to swing from BJP to Aam Aadmi Party in the Vidhan Sabha elections. This time has from the Lok Sabha elections. This time, from the Lok Sabha election to Vidhan Sabha election, it has decided to stay back with the BJP. And I think for that, to an extent, whatever subsidies, freebies, as one of the panelists has said, that had dried up, it was not really benefiting them. It was not of much consequence to them. And then when Mr. Modi came out with this rebate, Nirmala Sitharaman came up with this proposal of rebate, of complete zero income tax rebate to the people.
But Siddharth Mishra, are you, one finds it very difficult to believe, because are you saying this kind of a jump, this kind of a sweep by the BJP is entirely engineered by the switch of the middle class?
Of course, I'm saying this. I'm saying this with a lot of responsibility. See the past results. BJP in the last elections in 2020 lost Shakur Basti seat, which has 57% Vaishya Punjabi votes. It lost Shalimar Bagh. It has been losing Shalimar Bagh, which has 50% Vaishya Punjabi votes. And when I say Vaishya Punjabi vote, I largely mean it can be, loosely be interpreted as middle class votes. So as I said, there are 34 seats out of the 34 seats which are dominated by these relatively prosperous communities. And BJP has been losing this seat, excepting for one, that is Rohini, which has about 60% Vaishya Punjabi vote. So excepting for that seat, they have been losing all these seats. So if this kind of a result is coming, that means they are winning these seats, and they are winning these seats because the middle class, the Vaishya community, the Punjabi community, the business people, the middle class dukandars,
Okay.
they have also said that they are going to
So it's
deceive
the middle
30,000.
class,
They
and
have also
I
said that they are
want to
going
bring
to
in.
deceive. Just a point. They also said
Yes.
that they're going to deceive 13,000 sealed shops in Delhi. So all this has made them stay back. All this has made them stay back with the Aam Aadmi, with the BJP from the Lok Sabha poll to the Vidhan Sabha poll. If these figures are to go by the, but
But
still,
Aarti Jairat, if these figures are
one thing which I find very credible about these figures, that even they are predicting a sweep for BJP, they are giving 40% of vote share to the Aam Aadmi Party, which I think is very close to reality as I see it.
right. Right. But Aarti Jairat, if it's the middle class, we've spoken so much of the woman vote bank. I think one thing can be established, that there is no monolithic woman vote bank where Delhi is concerned. If these numbers are to go by, then a large chunk of the middle class voter, a woman who used to vote for the Aam Aadmi Party, when it comes down to Vidhan Sabha, is staying back with the BJP this time, post Lok Sabha.
So, firstly, we're still waiting for a breakup from the Election Commission of how many women voted and how many men voted. We haven't got that breakup yet. So, I think it would
But
be
Aarti
hasty.
Jairat, I'm going through the micro data, and I'm going to put out some of those numbers there. If you actually look at the micro data with some of the big agencies and pollsters, most of these pollsters are actually giving the BJP a larger chunk of the woman vote.
Okay. So I think that is the effect of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, where, the BJP had announced schemes for women, and the schemes were actually implemented. So women saw the result of those schemes. The Aam Aadmi Party, which had announced Mahila Samman Yojana of 1,000 rupees per month, was unable to implement that scheme. The only scheme that they were really able to implement for women was the free bus rides. So, I'm not surprised if women have turned to the BJP. I would also like to, just question Siddharth Mishra's thing on this middle class. Middle class is a very loose term. What do we mean by middle class? Delhi is largely, in any case, a middle class, city. It is true that the Aam Aadmi Party was powered.
Allow her to finish. I'll come to you, Siddharth.
Yeah.
The Aam Aadmi Party's rise was powered by the middle class in 2013 and in 2015, but the Aam Aadmi Party has been steadily losing that middle class vote. Yes, last time it got more middle class votes than the BJP. But my only contention is that if you look at today's Chanakya's results, and I do respect today's Chanakya, because I have seen, except for the Bihar results, which he got completely wrong in 2015, today's Chanakya has been reasonably accurate about all other polls. So if we just take his poll, and he's giving the BJP 51 seats with a 48%, vote share, it can't come just from the shift of the middle class. I mean, clearly,
That's the question that I had posed. But I want to bring in Charu Pragya, and I'll come back to Siddharth. You wanted to come in for a rebuttal, but I want to bring
that shift of the lower rung is very critical, because if the
possibly a percentage,
big breakthrough.
even a smaller percentage, which is more than the last time, of the lower income groups have been pulled away. But Charu Pragya, I think if these are the numbers, and directionally each and every poll is suggesting the same, then the Aam Aadmi is no longer with the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi.
Yes. And Preeti, a large reason for that has been misgovernance. A large reason for that has been misrepresenting who you really are while calling yourself a Aam Aadmi and feeling absolutely comfortable taking U-turns on your stance of not needing security, not needing a fancy big bungalow and building the Sheesh Mahal. It also comes down to one more thing. The way Bharatiya Janata Party government, Modi government has delivered at the center, whether we are talking about Ayushman Yojana, whether we are talking about ensuring every house household gets water from taps, when we are talking about making sure lives of people get better year after year. Delhi has not managed that, and that's been unfortunate. Year after year, the situation with air pollution becomes worse. The water pollution situation is also getting really, really bad. And all of this comes together and points fingers at the Aam Aadmi Party Sarkar, because here is a government which can give 1+1 free alcohol, but you are not adding money to the exchequer's fund. What are you doing instead is using that money to fight your own cases when you are stuck in the liquor scam. Whether they talk about, and I was trying to say this before, when you talk of your healthcare model, you cannot have Raghav Chadha openly going to London and saying कि मैं दिल्ली में आँख नहीं दिखा सकता इसीलिए I'm abroad. They have not delivered on anything, and their RTI replies now reflect that. It is not just about making blank promises. You have to deliver on those promises, and you have to begin somewhere. They've not been able to do that. When they said they'll make 500 schools in Delhi, they've not managed to make any. They started talking about classrooms after that, but how did they make classrooms? They are classifying bathrooms as classrooms. So, they have managed to fool a lot of the people for a very long time, but no more. People of Delhi have understood that to give a better lifestyle to their elderly, to their children, they have to change this government. Apda needs to go. We can't have a government which encourages riots in Delhi. We can't have a government which is only busy in filling up its own pockets and not even tabling the CAG report in Vidhan Sabha. We can't do that.
All right, okay. Anjali Rai, quickly, one word in, and then I need to go into a break. Go ahead.
No, I want to say that Delhi is being ruled by two governments, central government and Delhi state government. Now, I want to ask Charu that what about unauthorized colonies? What about your promises? You said that you are going in 2020 Sankalp Patra. You said that you are going to regularize all the colonies. Why didn't you authorize all the colonies? Then Modi ji said, "Jahan jhuggi wahan makan" in 2020 Sankalp Patra. But what happened? You were supposed to give 15 lakh houses to the cluster people, but you delivered only 4,700 houses. Then what about law and order? Everybody is witnessing the condition of law and order in Delhi.
Anjali Rai, I understand all of that, but these are conversations that we were having before Delhi voted.
Then
and
why
now,
did you
one can go ad
allow,
nauseum on all of that, but if Delhi has spoken, and yes, you are right, it's best that we wait for the 8th of February, and we're only discussing exit polls, with a bit of apprehension, but we are putting the numbers out. But one thing, is that one needs to take into account that directionally, most are saying exactly the same thing. In 2024 Lok Sabha elections, they might have got the numbers wrong, but directionally, the BJP did win and form government. I want to quickly, all right, Siddharth Mishra, I want to get you in very quickly. If you're looking at these exit poll numbers today, what's your hunch? Do you see them as an anomaly? Do you think it's different from what's happening on ground? What's your assessment for somebody who studied Delhi?
I think the BJP definitely has an upper hand. BJP definitely has an upper hand, and the reason for BJP having an upper hand is the shift of the middle class. The middle class vote not going back to Arvind Kejriwal for the Vidhan Sabha elections. And as the question was asked to me, what is the middle class in Delhi? Remember, Delhi is a trader's city. Delhi is a trading center. Delhi's traders form the middle class, the chunk of middle class, the small entrepreneurs, traders, and they all stood benefited by the free Bijli scheme, 200 unit, 300 unit scheme of Arvind Kejriwal. Having utilized that, but then BJP also, they also lost on Delhi's industrial states, where they had to balance the power tariff, which was brought down in these areas. In domestic power tariffs, there were huge rise of power tariffs in the commercial areas, in the industrial areas. In fact, the industrial areas, if you look at the industrial areas bordering Uttar Pradesh, Patparganj industrial, they have got emptied and they have gone to Noida and Ghaziabad.
Okay.
So,
but basically, you're saying if these numbers hold, it's a spectacular win engineered for the BJP by the Delhi middle class,
absolutely,
which from 2024 Lok Sabha elections has decided not to migrate back to the Aam Aadmi Party for Vidhan Sabha. We're going to leave it at that. I appreciate all our viewers for watching. Do stay tuned on the 8th morning when the actual results pour in. Thank you for watching.